All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Chicago Bulls video for you guys. I have not uploaded a Chicago Bulls video in way too long. I think it's almost been 2 weeks. So if you enjoy this video, hit the like button, hit that sub button, man. The Chicago Bulls, the trade deadline doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean everything. At the time of the trade to get Nikola Vucevic, Chicago was 19-24 and very much in contention for a playoff spot. And then Zach Lavine goes down because of the league's health and safety protocols. I'm not quite sure we actually ever got down to the bottom of that situation, but I guess can't cry over spilled milk. It's already in the past. So their defense was ranked 29th over the final 2 months and finished the season on a 12-17 skid to miss the play-in game, and it was tough. They watched helplessly during the lottery, and their pick fell to number 8, which meant it is in Orlando's possession. So for this video, guys, I kind of just want to talk a little bit about the Chicago Bulls because that's really one of my favorite things to do on this channel is, talk Chicago Bulls. I post a ton of NBA content, but I try to do the Bulls as much as I can. There just has not been much news really going on, to be honest, for most of the NBA. But with the Chicago Bulls, there was actually some rumors that came out today that Mike Conley, there could be some interest in the Bulls bringing in Mike Conley next season. And it really got me thinking about the Chicago Bulls. And it really kind of made me correlate the Phoenix Suns. I know that their teams, they're drastically different. The players, Zach Lavine and Devin Booker are not the same, but Vucevic and Ayton, they're not the same. I understand that. But the Phoenix Suns, who are just a couple years removed of having the worst record in the NBA, they now find themselves in the NBA Finals. And they very might win it because they are such a good, talented team, and they're finally getting to that health side, unlike most teams throughout the playoffs and throughout the regular season. So it got me thinking, all the Suns did really from an outside eye is this season they just added a veteran point guard. And that's what, you ask it casual, they're like, oh yeah, well they got Chris Paul. Chris Paul took them there. This Phoenix Suns team has had talent, and they've had good young talent for quite some time now. It all started pretty much with Devin Booker. The Chicago Bulls, to me, are a very, very similar basketball team where you have that one scorer who can pretty much do it all. He can take over late in games, can come up clutch when it matters in the fourth, make that big shot. Devin Booker and Zach Lavine. And then you've got that big man who's a huge defensive presence but can also hold his own and is very talented on the offensive end, Nikola Vucevic and DeAndre Ayton. So it has me thinking that the Chicago Bulls, I think that they are one big free agent name away from becoming a super legitimate contending team in the Eastern Conference. Now, I look at Brooklyn, I look at Milwaukee, I look at Philly, and I see holes within all of those teams. And actually, Milwaukee, to me, is one of the teams with the least amount of holes on their roster. And so, to me, it's no surprise that they're in the NBA Finals right now. They've got it all. They've got all the proper pieces. For the Chicago Bulls, there's a bunch of options out there. There's Lonzo Ball, maybe Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry, Mike Conley. That's what I've been preaching for the last couple of weeks whenever I've been making a Chicago Bulls videos. I come on here and I give my opinions. And my opinion is to get a free agent point guard veteran for the next 2 seasons if you strike out on Lonzo Ball. I want him to try to get Lonzo Ball. I want him to be set for the future. I would rather have Lonzo than Lowry, even CP3, even Mike Conley, just because of his age. You can build around Lonzo. He's getting better. He's getting better. He's getting better. He's a playmaker with pass-first mentality. He can shoot the 3-ball, and he can play defense. So, to me, what I want the Chicago Bulls to do this offseason is I want them to go out and get a point guard right away because I love Coby White. I absolutely love him. However, he might be better suited for the bench. Now, Lonzo Ball is going to be a tough name to get in free agency. He's going to be very tough. So just assuming the worst, let's say Lonzo Ball gets snagged up by a different team or he goes back to New Orleans, whatever happens to Lonzo Ball, he just isn't on the Bulls. Well, then I want the Chicago Bulls to still go out and get a veteran point guard. I want that Kyle Lowry. I want Mike Conley. Those are my first two options. Yeah, I would be interested in a Ben Simmons trade, but I don't want Ben Simmons necessarily playing point guard. There's a bunch of, I don't really want Kemba. I don't want John Wall. But basically the point I'm trying to get at here is in free agency, and honestly, I would even take Dennis Schroeder. I know a lot of Bulls fans aren't going to want to hear it, but Schroeder would be better than nothing at the end of the day. However, he's asking for $100 million at least, so that's not worth it at all. 2 years to a veteran point guard to mentor Kobe White, and that's it. I really just want Kobe White on the bench for the next 2 seasons to get mentored down there, because at a 6-man role, he's still going to be able to play plenty of minutes. He's still going to be able to get the job done, but only off the bench because his defense isn't quite there yet, and his playmaking ability is not quite there yet either. So you get an emergence of Kobe White if he continues to take step after step like he's been showing he will most likely do. Lauri Markkanen, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen to him. I hope, if anything, it's a sign and trade. I would like to see Lauri Markkanen back in a Chicago Bulls uniform because he's one of those players. I just want to see him succeed. I mean, you're 7 feet tall. I was so happy when the Bulls drafted him. I had such high expectations only to be severely let down. So if Lauri Markkanen is willing to get paid like $11 to $13 million a year, I would sign him in a heartbeat. Patrick Williams as well. I think Patrick Williams is going to take a huge jump. Something a lot of people just genuinely forgot about. When Kawhi Leonard first came into the league, everyone was worried about offense. No one knew if he was going to be able to take that offensive stride. It looked for so long like he was really only going to be a defensive-minded player. Well, the San Antonio Spurs coaching staff, they developed him perfectly, and he ended up getting an offensive game. And so that is exactly what I think is going to happen to Patrick Williams. And I think that's going to become more relevant this next season. He's got a year under his belt of confidence, knowing, okay, I can come out here, I can do this, I can play at this next level. I just need to trust myself, put in the work in the offseason. He's putting in work on the offensive end. And I expect Patrick Williams to truly have a breakout season next year. So I think that the Chicago Bulls really are just one point guard away from becoming legitimate contenders in the Eastern Conference. That's going to be it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit that sub button. That's the best way to let me know you guys want more Bulls videos. And I'll see you guys later, man.